Hey girlies, how's it going? I'm finally jumping in here this week because I need to do a recap of our meeting that we had for the month of February. And I do want to apologize, Brooke, specifically to you, because the original intent was to record the meeting and I did not record the meeting. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I had the tripod set up, and then like at the very end, Brandy was so sweet. She's like, you didn't record that for Brooke. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't. So I told them that I would jump in here live at some point, just to do a recap of the meeting. And then girls that were there, I'm counting on you to comment and fill in any gaps, because I wasn't the only one talking. Several of y'all had some great ideas. And even since then, you may have thought about some new ideas that you could bring to the group to help when it comes to our topic for the month. So I'm just going to jump right in and go through our outline that we had that night. And feel free, girls, to comment, ask questions, whatever. This is for y'all, so let's just make the most of it. And then Brooke, once we meet for our one-on-one, if you have more specific questions, we can touch base on them then. Speaking of one-on-ones, I'm going to be emailing all of you between today and tomorrow, so we can go ahead and get our next one-on-one set up. So I'm really excited about that. So this month, our theme was goal setting, planning, productivity, and execution. So first, before I jump into the outline, I want to know how your productivity has been over the last couple of days. How has it been going? So let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'm going to put a post up anyway asking about that. So you can drop it in the comments or wait for me to post that and check in with you guys. Because remember, we want to have the most productive month that we have ever had for our businesses. So first we talked about goal setting. So we talked about the difference between long-term goals and short-term goals. And it's so important that we have both of them. You know, I am such a dreamer. I love to dream. I'm a visionary. So I want to come up with the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20-year goals. And that's great. But it's also good to have short-term goals. And people are wired and bent for differently. Some people love long-term. Some people love short-term. But I think it's important to have both. So I want to encourage you guys to think about where you want your business to be 5 years from now. And dream big. Like, take off all the limits. And we talked about the fact that where your business is going to be 5 years from now, the way that you currently are, you don't have the capacity to handle or sustain that. And so it requires us to grow. It requires us to dream about where we want to be, so then we can take the necessary steps to grow to where we can have that. You understand what I mean? Like, not only grow our business, but grow ourselves. And so let's keep that in mind. We want both long-term and short-term goals. And then in order for those goals to be achieved, we have to have action plans. And so once you come up with your goals, have action plans and steps to get you to that goal, and make sure they're specific and they're measurable. Don't just say, like, for example, I'm thinking of you, Brandy, with your business. You know, don't just say, I want to grow my business or reach more clients. Put a number to that. I want to have, in the next 3 months, I want to have 15 new clients or whatever. I don't know if I'm not familiar with the industry enough to know that if that's a good goal or not, but I'm just giving you an example. Like, you want it to be very specific, and you want to be able to measure whether or not you achieve the goal. So, and then the last thing about goal setting we talked about was tracking. So that's why we have our tracker for this group. That's why when people want to lose weight, they track what they eat. When you have to write stuff down, it makes you just more aware, and you're more likely to do it. So I know for me personally, I don't track my time every single day, but the days that I do track my time, I am all on it. Like, I get so much stuff done. I'm like, 5 o'clock, I'm doing this. 6 o'clock, I'm doing this. 7 o'clock, I'm doing this. And then at the end of the day, I will have accomplished so much more than I did on a day when I didn't take the time to track my time. So that's just something we can all do probably better, is track our time. And y'all may already be rock stars at that. I'm preaching to myself. I want to be at a place where I'm doing it daily. I'm not there yet, but that's where I want to be. So that's what we talked about as far as goal setting. Okay. And then we talked about planning. Most of us, because we're business people, we have calendars and planners and all of that. So just an encouragement to keep a calendar, but then I extended it to including your to-do list. So I talked about how I love lists. I'm the queen of lists. I have lists for my list. But sometimes the list would just stay as lists and I wouldn't get the things done on the list in the time that I wanted to get them done. So what I started doing was making my calendar the to-do list. So for example, these are the 3 things I want to do today. Let me put them in the calendar and let myself know what time I'm going to do them. Because then the notification pops up. Oh, it's 2:00. Time to write a podcast episode. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do. Let me see. Oh, audit your time. So after I look at my calendar and I'm not look at my calendar, but like it's the end of the week and I look back at my calendar, I kind of see where my time went, if I got done what I needed to get done. As the week's going on, if a meeting changes, I'll go ahead and change it inside the calendar. For example, today, I had a meeting that was scheduled for 8. It got moved to 10:30. So yesterday when the meeting got moved, I went ahead and put it in my calendar. I went to my calendar and went ahead and moved that meeting. And so now here we are on Friday. So this weekend, I need to look back at this week and see how I used my time, what things I did that I think were super productive and grateful, and I'm grateful I did them, or things where I'm like, you know what, I really could have done without that, and just try to learn how to use my time better. And then we talked about margin. Okay, margin. My life changed when I started creating margin in my schedule. And I had to be okay with saying no to things and no to people. That was a big deal for me. That was not always easy. I used to schedule things back to back to back to back to back. But now I'm learning I don't have to do that. I'm in control of my time. And so, things are like meeting with you guys is a priority for me. And so when I contact you over the weekend, today or tomorrow, and we figure out when we're going to meet, I'm scheduling those things first because that's important. You know, I had someone last week, and I mentioned this when we met as a group, that wanted to meet with me, which I'm fine with, but I'm like, okay, I have March, I forgot the date, it may be like March 16th or I think it's March 16th I'm meeting with this person. But I'm like, yeah, I'd love to meet. I have March 16th available. I didn't feel the pressure of having to meet with that person like this week because no, I'm creating margin in my schedule. There are things that are a priority that I need to make sure I plan. And so that's the date I have. And that person was totally fine. She said, okay, so we're meeting March 16th, and that's okay. I want to give you permission to say no, to schedule things when you want to schedule them, and to create margin in your schedule. Very, very, very important. Especially because interruptions happen and things happen that we don't know are going to happen. And so it allows us to not be in panic mode if something gets unexpectedly added to our schedule that we had no control over. So, all right, the third thing we talked about was productivity. And as far as productivity, when you think about the things that you want to do and you want to be productive, it's super important to prioritize. I'm just realizing, y'all, I'm talking way fast. I'm so sorry. Let me take a deep breath. It's a habit that I have, and I'm doing much better at it than I have in the past because I try to notice it. But I need to take a deep breath and talk slower because I'm not in a rush. Sorry about that. I hope that you were able to catch all the stuff that I said before now when I was talking a gazillion miles a minute. So, productivity. All right, so that means we have to prioritize. So when you have your to-do list, the things that you want to do, put them in order of how badly they need to be done. What priorities are, important to you. And then define the daily wins. And let me go back to the prioritize. For example, there was one day when I had to write a podcast episode, had to post something on social media, and I had to create a schedule for something. on that list, writing the podcast episode was the most important thing. And so when I set out to work for that day, that is the thing I needed to do first. Sometimes we get caught into doing what we want to do first, the thing that gives us the least resistance or sounds like the most fun. You know, like being on social media and posting on social media may sound like fun, but is that what I need to be doing right now? So that's what I mean by prioritize. And then defining the daily wins. So sometimes I have like 8 things on my to-do list for that day. I've scheduled them into my calendar and everything, but they may not all get done. What I want you guys to do is decide each day, like, what are the 2 things that I have to get done that day? And then if you don't get the other things done, you don't feel defeated for that day. You're just like, I had a great day because I did the 2 things that were of top priority. Also, revisit your action plans. So you remember those goals that you set and you developed action plans for them? Make sure that you're revisiting those action plans so that you can make sure the things that you are doing each day, like you're doing something to work toward those goals. They're not just goals and action plans just sitting somewhere on a shelf, but you're actually moving the needle to get those things accomplished. And then the last thing is to extend grace. We're human. There is no getting around it. We're going to mess up, and that's okay. We won't get everything done we wanted to. That's okay. We won't hit all the goals, and that's okay. Extend yourself some grace. All right, let's see. Last thing. Sorry, guys. I hope this video is not too long, but I just needed to do a recap. Okay, execution. How do we, like, once we have goals and action plans, and we have a plan, and we're prioritizing, and we're ready to be productive, we're ready to crush it, how can we make sure we execute the plan? The first thing is remember your why. And I'm actually probably going to do an Instagram live. This is a side note. I've been doing Facebook lives, but I'm really trying to be more visible on Instagram. So I'm probably going to do an Instagram live today about execution and these 4 things. The first one, remember your why. When you feel like giving up, you remember, why am I doing this? Let me think. Okay, there are people I'm called to reach. There's freedom financially for my family. I'm passionate about making people feel amazing. Whatever it is, guys, keep that in front of you. Secondly, have a positive mindset. I am so convinced that mindset is 90% of everything. So if you can keep a positive mindset, then when the bumps in the road come, you are probably more likely to step over those bumps instead of being defeated by those bumps by just having the right mindset. Let's see. Reward yourself. This is a fun one. Brooke, you weren't there, but we talked about what can you do to reward yourself? And I think I was like, I love office supplies. So I was like, I think I can buy myself a new pack of pens if I hit my goals this week. And we're just laughing. And Jen was like, I'm getting me a massage, you know. So all of us have different things that we love to be rewarded with, and it's okay to reward yourself. And the last thing is accountability. Tell a friend, hey, I'm working on this. I'm giving you permission to ask me about it. You know, give people in your life permission to hold you accountable. And part of accountability is this group. So as you're working on things, guys, my goal is to keep you accountable. That's why we meet that's why I meet with you guys one-on-one. Because I do want you to know, yes, we're working together, we're encouraging each other, but man, I want to hold you accountable because I want you to feel successful at the end of our experience together. I want you to say, yes, I was able to accomplish, and then you can name the thing that you set out to do. So that is our ultimate goal. So I think that recaps everything. I need the girls that were there to chime in on this conversation. Chime in and give Brooke all the goods, all the exciting things we talked about. That's it, guys. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have good plans this weekend. And I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to be checking in with this group because I'm going to post about your productivity Make sure you comment. And then on Monday, we'll post our trackers. Sunday or Monday, I can't remember. But be ready to post your tracker for this week. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.